Ever since I started this channel, there have been a few topics that I've never touched or wanted to talk about. It's because I myself wasn't good at them, and one such topic is discipline. You can judge by the consistency of my uploads that I'm not really much of a disciplined person, as consistency is a part of discipline. Every time I used to sit down to work on a video or just any project of mine, I used to get overwhelmed by the pace of today's world. Because there's just so much happening around in the internet that life has just become following trends, absorbing information, and jumping from one device to another. And because of this, I always used to end up procrastinating. And slowly, that procrastination would lead to stagnation. And it's no secret that stagnation and discipline cannot coexist. And I never really seemed to care about it until 2022 happened and my mental state started to tremble. And that's when I came to the realization that I desperately need a cure for this. And after doing some research, I started to implement some new things in my life. Some of them worked and some of them were pure bullshit. And well, even though I'm still far from being a completely disciplined person, I can proudly say that I am at least on the right track. And I'd also like to give a special mention to Dr. Jordan Peterson because what a man. Not only are his methods relevant and realistic, but just the way he puts him, it's too good. Alright, so straight to the topic. The basic thing that stops people from being disciplined is not knowing their why. People do things, but it isn't clear in the back of their mind as to why they are doing it. You need to make sure that you yourself know why you're doing what you're doing. For example, let's say you're a content creator. So, why are you a content creator? Is it to make money while living wherever you want? Or is it to showcase your talent to get into the film industry? Whatever it is, you need to write it down. You need a concrete target to stay disciplined. Everything you want in life, everything you want to have, be, or do depends on your ability to take the necessary actions to achieve that goal, whether you feel like it or not. But first, for that to happen, you need to have a goal and you need to know why it is your goal. You need a goal and you need a deadline next to it. Because one of the major reasons for lack of discipline is not having a deadline. And in my case personally, it was having unrealistic deadlines. What setting a deadline basically does for you is that it adds a little bit of pressure. And believe me when I say this, but a little bit of pressure can actually be really helpful for you. I realized this while studying for my exams. The reason you are so good at completing the entire syllabus a night before the exam is because of the pressure of a deadline. On normal days, I didn't really used to study, but add the pressure of a deadline and boom, I'm instantly on the desk. So a deadline can really keep you disciplined even when you are not motivated. Now I'm aware that having a goal with a date next to it can get a little overwhelming itself and even a little burdensome. So what you need to do basically is that you need to create an action plan which consists of a goal with a deadline and a lot of milestones to reach that goal. This makes it easier to keep going and also makes your big goals a little less overwhelming. Nowadays, whenever me and my boys sit down to make a plan for shooting a short film, for example, I always make sure that we are setting many mini milestones, as it not only makes it a little easier, but it also makes it a little fun because we are always accomplishing something. It's like Candy Crush. Every time you win a level, your motivation to win another increases. Now, all of this might seem a little tough, but it really isn't. So let me explain it in a more simpler step-by-step way, the way I did it. You need to sort out your day first. You need to familiarize yourself with a schedule. You can start by deciding a time to wake up, write it down, and follow it. Then you can write down eating food or taking a shower. Now, those are the things that you do every day. These are pretty mundane tasks that you'll end up doing anyways. So that's a success. Then you can write down all the small, simple things that you like. Maybe you like watching TV or going to the movies or reading a book, hanging out with friends, something you want to do. Write it all down and then schedule it in your life. Now, you might think that you are forcing yourself to do these things. Well, it's not that. It's that now you're allowing yourself time to do them. The schedule is a means of getting what you want, not an external jailer who punishes you every time you deviate from your requirements. You should be friends with your schedule, and your schedule has to be your friend. It can be somewhat burdensome, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You should approach it as it is something that will help you get what you want. And it's also a very good way of controlling anxiety because one of the most common reasons for anxiety is just not knowing what to do. And people often think of that as boredom. And it is boredom to some degree, but it is also very anxiety provoking. So, a schedule that you design that you like can be an incredible relief. If we take elderly people, for example, because they order their environment and make it more predictable, they are less likely to be anxious because we are often made anxious by what is unpredictable. So, generating a view of life which consists of valued goals that you want to attain and steps by which you might attain them, then you ally them with a schedule. So, now not only do you know what you are doing, but you also know that what you are doing is moving you towards something that you want. So, now it's rewarding. Having your time structured like that and attaining goals is pleasurable and anxiety reducing. So, it's a good deal, all things considered. And you can start super and slow, just throw some things that you're pretty likely to do, fill in the schedule with broad strokes, and then as you get familiar with it, as you get comfortable with it, and maybe even happy with it, you can then put in the details and then follow it in a more sophisticated manner. And it's difficult to discipline yourself in relationship to your goal. It is difficult. So you want to start with little things and maybe little things that you want to do, and then proceed to harder things which you don't want to do so much, but you have to do them because they are related to something important. If you do this across time, you will get disciplined. And gradual improvement over time that is sustained is extremely powerful from the perspective of transformation. Once you have all of these things scheduled, then you can move on to your actual work. Apart from this, there are two lifestyle choices that I'm practicing right now, which are also very helpful. The first thing is don't get bothered with what's out of your control. So I was watching the Jenna Fisher episode of Hey There Human, which is an amazing show about mental health. In that episode, Jenna shows us a chart which Rian had sent her. It was about the things that you can control and the things you cannot control. There's a saying by Marcus Aurelius which goes, "You have power over your mind and not outside events." Being distressed about the things that are out of your control is just terrible, not only for your discipline but for your overall productivity. You can't really do much about external problems, so why spend time thinking about them? Because they're not gonna do anything for you, they'll just give you more unnecessary stress and anxiety. Reinforce to yourself what is within your control and what is outside of your control. If you embrace what is outside of your control and accept it, you will experience tranquility. Refer to the following wordings the next time you are distracted or distressed. Do you have a problem in life? No? Then don't worry. Yes? Can you do something about it? Yes? Then don't worry. No? Then don't worry. Another lifestyle change that I've been implementing recently is practicing delayed gratification. My dad always tells me you can either enjoy now and grind later, or grind now and enjoy forever. To explain this phrase, I'll use an example. Imagine you're trying to lose weight and you go to your friend's wedding. Now, there are platters of tempting, delicious food. If you eat them, it'll derail you from your diet, but you'll get that bit of instant gratification. If you resist it, though, you'll get a far greater reward down the line, which is getting your desired physique. This ability to resist our temptations and stick to our goals is often referred to as self discipline. And practicing delayed gratification is often seen as a central part of this behavior. We put off what we want now, so perhaps we get something else, something better later on. So that's all I've got for this video. All of these things that I've shared today have been helping me regain my self discipline, even though I'm not qualified enough to say that I am disciplined, but I'm still trying. Even though the name of this channel is Master M, is just something that a 13-year-old came up with in like 10 minutes and thought it was cool. The motive of this channel now is not motivation or inspiration or just me giving you some tips. It's about me sharing the learnings I get as I grow. Earlier, I used to just pick content from the internet or from the books and used to paste it here. And well, even though it did help me make more videos anywhere from once a week to thrice a week, but There was always this guilt in the back of the mind that I am sharing or preaching something that I myself haven't tried or experienced. I hope you like this new format, and even if you don't, who cares, because there'll probably be a new format the next time I actually upload a video, which will possibly be in the next 2 years. I'm just kidding. No, but you can expect at least 2 videos a month from now on as I'm slowly getting my life back on track. This year was difficult for me. My mental health was just terrible. Had to say goodbyes to a lot of close people. The first 3 months of the year, I was bedridden, and it took me 2 more months to recover properly. So the first half just went being sick, and even after that, just more and more personal problems kept coming. All of this really crushed my morale, and my mental health was also shattered. Now, as I'm getting back on track, I guess there will be more videos on mental health as well. So, if you're dealing with the same stuff or you know someone who's dealing with this, you might want to share this channel with them as it might be helpful. Anyways, I was never good with this outro thing. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Bye bye.